Hi, this is Mike. Once again, welcome back to my WWF LJN tutorials. Today I want to show you how I'm going to clean up some of the marks that are on good old King Kong Bundy. And then I will actually redo him. You can see all of the missing parts. Not that anybody wants to see his backside. But anyways, you can see all the marks that he has currently on his skin color. And then I'm going to do his legs and everything else in black. He's a fairly easy color, so if you want fairly easy character to redo, because he really is only one basic color and his face is in good shape, so this would be a good one to redo if you are doing this for the first time. And it'll have a pretty basic, I have a black over there, but I also have a jet black, and I'm going to try him in jet black. So I've already washed him. In case you've not seen my other videos, what I do is I put them in a in a plastic container with really hot water, and then I will let him sit in there for a while with some basic dish soap, like some, I don't know, what's the dish soap that we use, Palmolive, something, and then it'll break down any of the dirt that's on him, and I will take a hard brush that I have. I think almost a toothbrush would work, but I have a specific one like I've shown in one of my previous videos, and I clean them up pretty good, except for those blue marks. So I'm going to show you what I do use to take those off and get them cleaned up and ready for a repaint. So I've shown people what I've done before on this, and I'm going to do it again with King Kong Bundy. Is I will use my nail polish remover, and I will use a Q-tip, and we'll take it and I will clean up all of his spots. I actually got a boatload of figures in today. Got a nice big deal on eBay. So I have a lot of figures that I'm going to redo, some common, some a little more rare. And then I have a big box over here with roughly, I want to say 25 more that I'm going to do at some point. So I'll do some videos on really any figure that people want. So if you have one that you would like to see me do, just let me know in the comments sometime. So let's get to this. I take the nail polish remover. What I do is I take a lid, because it's just easier to put in, and I don't contaminate the nail polish remover in case the girls want to use it again. Whatever I put in the lid, I just get rid of. I don't put it back in the bottle. And so I'll take my Q-tip, get it all nice and wet, and as best as I can, this video camera showing here. What I'll do is push the lid off to the side so I don't get my fingers in it, is I will attack whatever color's on there. And you notice right away, look at how much that's come off. It's on the Q-tip. So that does a really nice job of breaking that up. I make sure I don't hit the paint that's on his body, but you know what, that doesn't really make a difference, because my Rambo just fell over, because I'm going to repaint him. But you saw that big blue streak, and I don't know what kind of figure got that on him. Maybe a hillbilly, maybe it was a hillbilly Jim. I was thinking honky tonk man. And see, you still see a little bit of that blue on there. And so, again, attack it a little bit more. Sorry, the camera's shaking. I really worked that head of the Q-tip, what is our brush? I don't even know. Q-tip thing right onto it. And you can see how well his arm cleaned up. Okay, maybe not perfect, so you're going to go over it again. You can see that it's quite a bit on the blue. And then what I'll do is, again, you want to wash it off. You don't want to keep that on there for too long. We'll flip to his backside, and you can see his arm. Notice again, I didn't have to dip it in that Q-tip, the nail polish remover again. Just a little bit of elbow grease, literally on the elbow grease. And see how nicely that comes off. I'll show you this. I'm not going to show you the whole figure because I'm sure you're getting bored at this point. But this is that stage 2. Stage 1 is the washing. Stage 2 is the kind of cleaning of the deep stuff. And there you go. So some people have talked about using degreaser. I have no interest in this because I don't want this whole figure getting that kind of stuff on it. But instead, nail polish remover works perfectly. You brush it off, wash it off with your towel. And my suggestion is later on, just give them a nice little water rinse to get the rest of that off. But that's it. So I will hit the rest of him. I'll clean him up, and then I will start working on him in terms of his color and let you know in the second part of the video. Okay, so I'm back again. I have King Kong Bundy all cleaned up and nail polished, free, I suppose. I decided to hit all of his backside, not that backside, but anything that had marks on it is now gone. That is the beauty of nail polish remover and just Q-tips. Nice little simple thing. Takes a little bit of elbow grease, but all those markings took maybe 8 minutes, if that. I'm going to use the color on Jet Black on him. This is the Apple Barrel brand for 50 cents at Walmart. As I do before, I will use my Mod Podge to seal them off and just make it nice and smooth. And that's what I prefer. As in some of my other videos, people have asked about that. That's what I like. It makes my characters nice and smooth. And if you have not seen, sorry for the quick spin. That's my collection. That's my group over there that I have done. I'm pretty proud of what they look like. But again, it's whatever you prefer. If you don't like the style of how it looks afterwards and choose to use something else, I know some people do use acrylic. And I mean, essentially, that's what this is. This is just a matte acrylic paint. But my issue is it looks pretty flat when it's done. So I want to jazz it up a little bit with that Mod Podge. So I'm not going to talk too much more about how I'm going to paint him because he's one color, black, pretty simple. I'm going to paint him up, put a couple coats on, and then I'll show him what he looks like before I put the Mod Podge on. And that's that. Bundy's pretty easy. So here's King Kong Bundy with his 2 coats of Jet Black. I decided to go with that because I thought it was a little bit sharper than just my normal black was, and I already have a King Kong Bundy that I finished, so I just want to see how this one would compare. I put 2 coats on his boots and on his knee pads, as well as his, I don't know, what do you call that? I should know, but I can't remember. His outfit, his wrestling suit, and didn't turn out too bad. If you remember from the first part how bad his back actually was, the 2 coats covered really well. Pretty happy with how this came out. Now it's not finished. Here's where I'm talking that it's a little flat. Some people might like that. I don't. I like it to have a little more shine to it because that whole rubber figure actually, there, I just ruined my foot, but we'll fix that. I like it to all have that gloss. So what I will do tomorrow after this dries completely is I will put a coat of Mod Podge on, and so that it will give me that original shine to it. And it also seals. That's the other thing too. I want to make sure that I'm clear on that. I use the Mod Podge because it seals and because it makes it a lot sharper in terms of color. So there you go. That was fairly easy. Probably took me 20 minutes, 25 minutes or so to actually paint and go from a guy who was really torn up and fairly on the cheap and now looking pretty good. And once we get the Mod Podge on him, be all finalized. So I'll do one more clip of this tomorrow and you can see the final product. Alright, so for those of you who are familiar with my videos, you know that my last step after I have painted my figures and got them how I want them to be is that I actually use some Mod Podge. Mod Podge is really easy to use. What it does is it seals the paint on there. I like it because it makes it so it doesn't chip so easily, and so the paint doesn't come off in essence. I only brush onto the areas where I have painted. Otherwise I try to keep it off of there, although this isn't going to bother that too much. I just thin it down. You don't want anything too big and too globby. I usually start in the big areas and work around, so I'm using this back side here. Put a little on, work up above on his arms, his straps, I suppose you want to call them, rather than his arms. And then just brush it thin where I can. And then this, we'll let it set for a while. I'm going to do the other parts, and I'm not going to video them, but by the time that I get done with the rest of it, you can see his flat black here. Then the backside will dry. It honestly takes probably 15 minutes to completely dry. I usually just let it sit for a couple hours. I don't mess with it. Once I'm done, like I said, I make sure that I don't have any like big globby areas in this. So this will dry clear. It'll give a nice clear coat when it's all said and done. And that's that. I'll do his shoes, I'll do his knee pads, and I'll show you what the final product is. Alright, so here's the big fella all finished, King Kong Bundy. I did him in Jet Black from the Apple Barrel paint series from Walmart. I like the jet black. I think a little bit better than the flat black that I had before. I don't know, flat black, I'd say regular black. But jet black looks pretty cool. 2 coats of the paint, and then I was able to put a thin coat of Mod Podge on it. And if you saw from the beginning of the video how poor the paint job was before and everything coming off, and now everything looks pretty good. Give you a little bit of a closer look. You can see how well all those markings came off, and then there you go. So easy figure to start off with, so that's my suggestion. If you have a collection, you want to try something out, King Kong Bundy, pretty common figure now, although I think the desire of it's gone up a little bit since he has passed away. So King Kong Bundy, and then up next, I have a giant lineup, so we'll see what I decide to do next. Maybe Mr. Fuji. I want to get him in a demolition mask. I also have the challenge of Honky Tonk Man, who looks like a disaster back there, and a friend of mine wants a Roddy Piper, so those might be the next 3 up on the list. So for King Kong Bundy, I say goodnight.